Okay, so it's preparing to go live streaming now. So just give it a little time. I promise you, I wouldn't be taking so much time in my teaching today. I'll try to keep it very, very simple. Taking note of the challenges I already have. I have some pretty challenges here. So I'll try to keep it very simple so we don't okay, I think we are live now on YouTube. So you may want to tell your friends to join us on YouTube. I think I'm live on YouTube now. So let's, yes, I think I'm live on YouTube now. So anybody who is on YouTube, let me just quickly share that. Let me share that. Sorry, just give me a while. I'm going to share that to sorry, just give me a little while. I want to show that. Sorry, I should have started well beforehand, but I had some issues with the network. So please just be patient, be very patient. I just need to set up. All right. I don't know what these children have done to my phone. Okay. Sometimes when you have wonderful children, they also do their own thing. All right. So this meeting is being streamed live. So what it means now is that this video is live, and I'm going to drop. I was trying to see if I could drop. Okay, let me see if I can drop that. Just give me a moment. I just want to ensure that. All right, so I've just dropped the link, so you can send to your friends, and they can watch us on YouTube now. Let me see if I can drop that on the announcement on the page to see others who may want to join us. Okay, I've pasted that on the grade 11 platform. I'm going to drop that on the grade 11, grade 12 platform too. So those that may want to watch can actually join us and enjoy the session. I'm dropping that on my status, so anybody that wants to join can also have the same experience. All right, I think that will settle that. Okay, so good evening, class. Thank you very much for your patience. Thank you very much for your cooperation. And we are live on YouTube. This is Mamu Jarvis taking on our grade 11 experience. Like I'll tell my students, in my world, mathematics does not exist. What exists is algebra, geometry, and arithmetic. So today we'll be taking an aspect. I got a very wonderful idea recently to look at, maybe because of the elections, to look at mathematics as Nigeria, geometry, algebra, and arithmetic as different states of the federation. And we'll be looking at one of the states of the federation called what? Algebra. And in that state, we're interested in one local government. And that local government, which we'll be looking at, will be that of inequalities. I hope that helps you out. Now, when we mention algebra, three key areas come to mind. Just three key areas come to mind. We have equations, inequalities, and expressions. So these are the three major areas we consider when we look at algebra. And today we'll be focusing on just one aspect of it, inequalities. Usually we'll come in contact with inequalities in your grade 8, that's your GSS 2. And what we'll be doing today will be very, very simple. What is an equation? An equation is a mathematical statement that is two-sided. What it means is that it has a left-hand side and a right-hand side. And my objective is to try to ensure or to look at making one end to be equal to the other end. That's an equation. So what's an inequality? An inequality is not different from an equation. It's just that in the context of inequality, now we're looking at the concept of what? Range. Possibilities, as if you choose to call it that. Now look at that. If I say x is equal to 5, this will be an equation. It means that x is the same thing as what? 5. But if I say x and I say greater than 5, it means that x will be any value that will be above 5. X is greater than 5 will mean that it's any value that's above 5. Now, some of us just coming to this class will wonder, okay, I gave a very important info when I started this class. This class is for grade 11 and 12. Grade 11 and 12. So if you're in grade 7, you may not enjoy this class. Grade 8, 9, 10 will find this class very, will find this class very okay because they already have some knowledge to build on to run the class. Sorry, no, there's no problem. When I'm done with this class, I would then come back to handle the grade 7 class. So sorry about that, and thanks for your patience. I had a little challenge from my end, and hence we're having this little bit of mix-up. Thank you. All right, so we talked about equation. We talked about what? Inequalities. I've done extensive work on this in my YouTube channel. If you go to Mamu with Jarvis, go to playlist grade 8, you're going to see lots of videos on that. My task this evening is to solve problems, and my textbook, authorized textbook for this evening, is the New General Mathematics for SS2. So that will be chapter 10 of the textbook, and page 100, page 99, sorry, page 99, page 99. Page 99 will be what? The page we're going to be considering. So I've talked about equations, I've talked about inequality, and of course, you already know what an expression is. An expression is a one-sided statement. Usually in mathematics, we simplify expressions, but we solve equations or inequalities. I come again. We would simplify expressions, but we solve inequalities or equation. So if you want to know more about some of these things, you may need to go to my channel. But today, I will keep it strictly on inequalities, and we are hitting the road right away. So to help us with today's work is the New General Mathematics, my official text for this particular course. And we'll be looking at exercise 10A. That's found on page 100 of your textbook. It's called exercise 10A revision, which means it is a callback to what you have done in your grade 8. So let's hit the road. And for those of us in ABEC, grade 11, you may have, I've given you this as a task to solve. So we're going to be solving, and you're going to be checking if what you've done was okay. All right, so let's clean up and let's start. Mathematics makes me happy. All right. So exercise 10A. We start revision. I've told you why it is called revision. We'll be looking at, it says, solve the following inequalities. Solve the following inequalities and sketch a number line graph for each solution. Don't worry, somebody's asking, what's a number line? Oh, a number line is simply a line that has numbers on it. Keep it simple like that. When we start solving, you know what it is. All right, so we go to number 1, and it says x minus 3 less than 5. X minus 3 less than 5. Now, we have these signs in maths. And if you watch my first video, Inequalities, my playlist part 1, I took out time to explain this, but because I don't have the time to do all this explanation, I will just keep it simple and say that we are naming with respect to the fact that our right-hand side is the power. Our right-hand side, or rather our left-hand side, would that be left-hand side now? Left-hand side is the power. So it means that if I go by that, this is greater than, this is less than, this is greater than or equal to, this is less than or equal to, right? So I have x minus 3 less than 5. The rules for solving the equation is still applicable here. X minus 3 less than 5. Now, this is a slave. When it crosses the inequality line, you'll be hearing me talk about inequality line now. It becomes a positive. So this will become slave becoming a king. So this will be less than what? 5 plus what? 3. Understanding fully well that you have done something we call balancing technique for equations in your grade 8. Right? So this will now be x less than what? 8. It means that x is what? Less than 8. How do we represent that on a number line? I will draw a line. I will call the end of the line x. I will mark a point. And because 8 is positive, I will just mark a point and call it 8. And what I'm going to do, it says x is less than 8. It means that the arrow will point in this direction. If it is less than, it will face the left. If it is greater than, it will face the right. Now, but there's something else I didn't tell you. If it is just less than, it will be an open bubble. All this you can find in my video. So I encourage you to go to my channel and watch this. If it is less than, it will be an open bubble. If it's less than, it will be what? An open bubble. So this will be what? X less than 8. And this will be the answer. This is a simple way to represent the diagram. I don't expect you to do more than that. Okay? If that is understood, we'll take number 2. Number 2 says x plus 1 is greater than or equal to 3. So how then do we solve this? Quite simple again. This is a king, drawing from your knowledge of equations. This is a king, and anytime it crosses the inequality, it becomes what? A slave. So slave is minus, king is plus. So this becomes greater than or equal to 3 minus 1. So which means x is greater than or equal to 2. All right. How do we draw that on a number line? Very simple. I pull my line, I mark the x, I mark a point on it, I put a bubble. Now, because I'm saying greater than or equal to, I will color the bubble. If it were only greater than, it will be an open bubble. But if it is greater than or equal to, the bubble will be colored. Now, it is greater than, it means point towards my right. So I'll point it this way. And then I'll write the number here too. And that's all you need to draw. No stress, no noise, no disturbances. That's what you expected to draw. So that's good for question 2. So if you have done the task, I would want you to mark yourself and assess what you've done. Just mark yourself, and if you've gotten 2 over 2, just send me on the chat that I've gotten the 2 questions, and we'll be celebrating you very, very well. All right. So I wouldn't solve all of them. Sorry about that. I won't solve all of them. So I'm going to select some of them to solve, knowing fully well that I've given you a pattern that you can follow. Knowing fully well that I've given you a pattern that you can follow. All right, so I don't think you're going to have any issues with solving number 1 to number 7, but I want to take on question 8. From number 1 to 7, I don't if you don't have any issue, the pattern will still remain the same. Now, let's go to number 8. Number 8, and in number 8 of the textbook, you're told 3 minus x will be less than 1. 3 minus x will be less than 1. So how do you solve this? Now, remember that from our equation, we're told something, that we solve such that the coefficient of the unknown must be a positive or 1. Okay, must be 1 and it must be positive. So if you check my work here, I'm seeing the coefficient to be what? Negative. So what I do now will be to rewrite this so that this becomes positive. So how do you do this? If 3 minus x is less than 1, it will mean that 1 is greater than 3 minus x. When you go back to watch my video on inequalities, grade 8, you discover that I took out 18 minutes to explain why I will not tell you this is greater than, less than when we start teaching. I always want you to understand that it's perception. What you call greater than or less than is perception. So if 3 minus 7 is less than 1, it means that 1 is what? Greater than that. So I'll write it this way. Then I apply. Beautiful. Someone has just said something, making it the subject of the formula. That's very correct. So stay on for a grade 7 student. Stay on. I love that. Right. So with that, this negative x is a slave, but it has to be a king. So I'm going to move this man. When it crosses inequality, it becomes what? A positive. So I'm going to have 1 plus x greater than 3. Now, from your equation, we're taught something from my equation. We keep the unknown on the left-hand side and we keep the known. So it is no unknown equal to known. What is known? Known simply is a number. And what is the unknown? The unknown is a letter. So, and what's another name for the letter? It is called a variable. Yes, you're spot on, boy. It's like solving simple equation. Right on, boy. Right on, my boy. It's like solving simple equation. It's just that we have done a little tweaking to the idea. All right. So this will now be what? X greater than. This is a king. I want to make him a slave. So it becomes 3 minus 1. So x will be greater than 2. Are you seeing it? So how do you draw your number line now? You draw a line like this. You mark a point here. You call this one x. The next thing you do is to draw a bubble. To draw a bubble. Now on that bubble, you call that point 2. Now it says x is greater than 2, which means the bubble should go in this direction. Now, what kind of bubble are you drawing? Are you drawing an open bubble or a closed bubble? It is an open bubble because it's just greater than. If it were greater than or equal to, you will draw a closed bubble or a colored bubble. Yes. All right. So we're done with that. And that's the solution to that question. All right. Solution to that question. And so what's the learning point here? Anytime you see the coefficient of x as negative, you need to first of all make the coefficient of x positive, and then you keep on solving. All right, so that settles that. I'm going to take on, let's do number 12. Sorry, I'm just picking questions. Okay, all right, that's good, that's good. Anytime you cross the inequality sign or the equality sign, the signs will change. Very good one, boy. All right, so question 12, 5x minus 2 greater than 19 minus 2x. All right, now, in this question, this is positive, this is negative. So the way it is written is okay. The unknown must always be positive. Let that sink. The unknown must be written so that it is what? Positive. And it must be on your left-hand side because we are right-handed. It must be on your left-hand side because you are what? right-handed. We write with our right, no stance. So we take that one and draw our conclusion. All right. Now, what do we do next? You discover that I have X here, I have X here. I have unknown, known, known, unknown. Beautiful. So what do you do next? I don't need this one here, and I don't need this one here. So I'll have 5X. This one will cross over to this village. Because it was a slave, it becomes a king. Greater than 19. This one was a slave here. If it crosses over, it becomes a king. So what do I have? 7X greater than what? 21. Now, what do you do at this point? You will discover that I said earlier that the coefficient of X must be 1. When you're looking for an unknown, the coefficient of that unknown must be 1. So I look at the coefficient of X in this question, I'm seeing 7. So I'm going to divide both sides by what? 7. And what happens? You're going to have that X will be greater than 3. So how do you draw your number line? Beautiful, beautiful, awesome, voila. Gracious, gracious. Now, so you're going to have 3 here. The bubble will be open. Bubble will be open. Why? Because we are dealing with what? Just greater than. Even if it is less than, the bubble will be what? Still be open. Is that clear to be open? So now, because it is greater than, it means go towards your right. Don't you see where it is pointing? Look at your right. So it will go like this. And that will be X greater than 3. And that solves that question. Remember that the concept of balance means that whatever you do to divide left is what you must do to divide right. All right, so we're done with that question. And let's see if we can do more. Let's see if we can do more. Let's see if we can do more. Maybe I take one more example like that too. Let's look at question 15. Question 15 incidentally is a WAEC question. So that means this is the kind of question they want to set in your WAEC. 3x minus 5 less than 5x minus 3. 3x minus 5 less than 5x minus 3. So how do you handle a question like this? How do you handle this? Now, look at this question very well. Look at this question very well. Look at this question very well. Like I've told students, my classes are always tailored such that even if you are in grade 7, as long as you can just calm down to look at what we are doing, you will understand. You will understand. We have a grade 7 in class and it seems to be enjoying himself. My boy, enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. Just enjoy yourself. Right? 3x minus 5 is less than 5x minus 3. Now, the first thing you look at for is your unknown. This is an unknown. This is an unknown. The next question you ask yourself is this. Oh, wonderful. The first question you ask yourself is, which one is bigger? If I give you 3 naira or 3K and I give you 5K, which one will you take? I will take 5K. 5K is better. So because 5K is better, I'm going to rewrite this. This is what? Less than this. This is less than this. And this is greater than this. So I'll write this again. So this is 5x minus 3 will be greater than what? 3x minus 5. This one is less than this. It means that this one is bigger than this. Let me go to primary school. For those of us that may be struggling to see what I'm saying. If I say 2 is less than 5, it will only mean that 5 is greater than 2. Can we see perspective to that? If I say 2 is less than 5, I can write this to be what? 5 being greater than 2. And I will not have done anything wrong. Is that okay? All right. So with this, we now collect like terms. This is a king. We need to bring him this way. This is a slave. We need to bring him this way. We are collecting like terms unknown to known. Remember, we said that it is unknown to what? Known. And what is known? Numbers. What's unknown? Letters. What's the unknown? Variables. All right. So this will be 5x minus 3x greater than what? You write what you are seeing there first, and you bring what is not there. You write what you're seeing there first, and you bring what is not there. So that will be what? Plus 3. 5 apples minus 3 apples, or 2 apples, greater than. Now, I am owing 5 naira, and I have 3 naira to pay. It means I'll still be owing, because the money I have is not enough to pay the debt. So, with that said, I'm going to need 2 extra naira. So I know that I'm still owing. 5 minus 3 is what? 2. So what do? We must have the coefficient of x to be 1. So I'm going to divide both sides by the number I'm seeing, multiplying x. And at the end of the day, I'm going to have that x will be greater than -1. So I draw my number line, mark a point. Usually I mark that point because I'm calling that point my imaginary 0. Negative will be on my left-hand side. So that introduces another interesting concept. This part is positive, this part is negative. So I'll mark my arrow here and I'll call it x. Now, let's say -1 is somewhere here. -1 is a number that is less than 0. -1 means that you are owing. You are owing. All right. So with that, the bubble will be open because we don't have equal to sign here. We don't have equality described. So open bubble, it is greater than -1. So which means that move to the right, move to the right hand side. So which means x is greater than -1. So this is what you're going to have as the diagram or the sketch, as a sketch representing this particular question. All right, so that's that for that question 15. And I'm going to move on to something else. Maybe we'll take a minute or two to just catch our breath. We're talking and talking and talking. So we'll just catch our breath a little so that some of us can take a minute or two to just mentally look at what are we doing. Wow, this is awesome. All right. Okay, so with that said, if that break is okay for you, let's look at question number 18. Question number 18. 18 says 2x plus 6 is less than 5 multiplying x minus 3. Or some people say 5 into x minus 3. So how do you solve a question like that? How do you solve a question like that? Quite simple then again. Your first task is to open up this bracket. Draw from your simple concept of board math. Your first task is to deal with the brackets. So you want to open this bracket up. So this will be 2x plus 6 less than 5x minus 15. This will increase this by a factor of 5. 5 times x will give me what? 5x. In your grade 8, we were taught something about multiplication of letters. We're taught something like this: sign, number, letter. If I multiply a number by a letter, I'm going to get what is called a number letter. If I multiply a number by a number, I'm going to get what is called a number. Not a number, it's a number. If I multiply a letter by a number, I will still obtain a number letter because that is the correct order of writing it. So I have 2x plus 6 less than 5x minus 15. So what's the next thing I do? I check. this is bigger than this. So I'm going to rearrange it. Remember that my model says keep the unknown on the left-hand side and keep the known on the right-hand side. The unknown being the letter and the known being the number. Right, so this is less than this, means that this is bigger than this. This is less than this, means that this is bigger than this. This is less than this, means that this is bigger than this. So 5x minus 15 will be greater than 2x plus 6. Huh? All of my great teachers will say, Okwi Nanu, and then you answer Owe. All right. So with that settled, I now collect like terms. This is a man who's not supposed to be here. He's a king, so he must be a slave here. 5x minus 2x greater than. You write what you have and you bring what you don't have. You write what you have and you bring what you don't have. You write what you have first and bring what you don't have. All right, so this is 6. This is negative. And when it crosses the inequality sign, it becomes a positive, a slave becoming a king. So this will become plus 15. Is that okay? I have 5 naira and I want to remove 2 naira. I'm going to have 3 naira left, being greater than 6 plus 15. 6 plus 15. I'll be doing videos very soon on primary school, and then I'll teach you how to add up. Than what? Three x will be greater than what? 21. So meaning that I'll divide both sides by 3. Divide both sides by 3x will not be greater than what? 7. All right. So I was about saying something before I became distracted. Maybe I should reiterate that. Now look at this. If you say 6 plus 5, 6 is a unit, 15 is a 10 and a unit. So when you want to add, your addition concept should go towards your unit part. 5 plus 6 giving you what? 5 plus 6 will give me 11. So I'll put down 1. That container is overloaded because that container, unit container can only take from 0 to 9. So once you get 10, 1 needs to go out. That 1 that needs to go out is 10. So that 10 will be added to this one and it becomes what? 21. All right, so x will be greater than 7. That will be the final answer. So we draw a number line. We'll put our arrow here. 7, we mark 7. It is greater than, so the bubble, it will be an open bubble. Now, greater than means that it is pointing, oh, lovely. It is pointing to your, it will be pointing to your right. So that will be the answer. Now, please be very careful when you solve this. If you watch from here, it was pointing like this. But at some point in time, it turned like this. If some other scholars or school of thought may teach you that method, and sometimes they tell you to divide both sides by negative, please, technically in maths, it is not a good mathematical practice to be dividing both sides by negative. It will, in the words of Kang the Conqueror, it will warp your understanding of the multiverse. So avoid that approach when you're solving problems. Don't try to warp reality. Do it this way, and naturally, the answer will do what? Pop out. Lovely. Okay. Sorry, some persons are asking questions. Sorry, I'm a strong movie person, so you're going to be hearing me talking a lot about movies as I teach. I talk a lot about movies in my class. All right. So we're done with that. Let's take another one. Let's take 19. I think I should be doing 19. Let me confirm if I'm right. It says -2 into x minus 3 greater than -3 into x plus 2. That will be the next one we're taking on. Now, watch carefully. Negative is negative. But negative multiplying this, negative multiplying this. Now, there are two ways to solve this problem. And I'm going to use what I call the ALGEBRA method. See, if negative is multiplying this and negative is multiplying this, it means that it is their positive that is multiplying them. Somebody is asking, Uncle, what just happened? Negative multiply this and negative multiply this implies that what is multiplying both is positive. But just to, because I know some people will be asking, what are you talking about? How come? How? So, to be on the safe side, let me not go with that method. And let me go with the method. Let me go with popular demand. Or maybe when you're free, you can also try and see whether you're going to get the same answer. So I use negative to multiply this. This will be negative 2x plus 6. Negative times negative will be what? Positive. Greater than negative times anything in this will become what? Negative. Anytime negative multiplies, beautiful. So that will be negative 3x minus 6. If a negative multiplies positives, it will give you negative. There's an example I always use. Represent auntie or uncle who's coming to visit, who will deliberately, without fear, flout, go against the order of mommy and daddy, and tell you if you tell mommy and daddy, they're going to beat you. So that's the understanding here. The negative, anytime you see negative, it means that what you're going to have inside here will not be the same. So with that done, I'm going to have this. Now, I look at negative 2 and negative 3, which is bigger. Is somebody say negative 3? Huh? Did I hear somebody say negative 3? Excuse me? No. Negative 2 is bigger than negative 3. Let me explain why. If you are owing 2 naira and you are owing 3 naira, the person who is owing 2 naira is better than the person who is owing 3 naira. The person who is owing 2 naira is better than the person. The person who is owing 2 naira is better than the person who is owing. Okay, thanks for that observation. I'll take care of that at once. So this will be negative 2x plus 6 greater than negative 3x minus 6. Is that better? Can I get the feedback? Frida, is that better? All right, I think that should be better now. So with that, I will have negative 2x. This is a slave becoming a king plus 3x greater than. You write what you have and you bring what you don't have. So this is positive 6. When it crosses, it becomes a slave, it becomes negative. Lovely. So this will be, I'm owing, I hope you know this is same thing as say 3x minus 2x greater than negative 12. You are owing 6 naira. You are owing 6 naira. And you are owing another 6 naira. It means you are owing 12 naira. You are owing. As simple as that. So that will mean that x will be greater than negative 12. So how do you do that? Very simple. You draw your number line. You mark a point. Oh, this point is 0. Negative on my left, positive on my right. Negative on my left, positive on my right. All right, so this will be negative 12. And this will be x. He said negative x is greater than negative 12. So the arrow will go to my right. And it is just greater than. So it will be an open bubble. Open bubble. Open bubble. All right, so maybe I should go over this again. I'm getting a request from somebody that I should go over this again. You understand how we did the multiplication? Right. This negative multiply this, it multiply this, and then we have what? X negative 12, and then x will be greater than what? Negative 12. So that sorts that one out. All right, so let's try to look at question 22. Oh, don't worry. Look at question 22. Let's look at 22. Question number 22. Question number 22. Question number 22. So I'm going to write that on the board. And it says 1 over 2 into 3x minus 2 greater than or equal to. Because some people are asking, Uncle, you have always been treating open bubble. When will the bubble be closed? So 1 over 3 into x plus 4. Is that okay? Is that okay? Now, that's what the question wants us to take care of. 1 over 2 into x minus 3x minus 2 less than or equal to 1 over 3 into x plus 4. Oh, no, it's not an equal sign. It is less than or equal to. Less than or equal to. We're dealing with inequalities, not equations. In equations, you have this. In inequalities, you can have this, 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 and this. Is that okay? All right, thank you. Thanks for the charts coming. I'll try to look at the charts that are quite important and see how I can use that to help the work. Now, these are fractions. They are what? Fractions. There are two things you must be very careful with when you're solving maths. The fear of fractions and negative is the beginning of mathematical wisdom. I want to write that one down. The fear of fractions and what do they call it? Negative numbers is the beginning of wisdom, mathematical wisdom. So anytime you see a fraction when you are solving problem, the first thing you want to do is to clear it out. You want to clear it out first. Very important. So this is 2. Look at the denominator. So we draw from our grade 7 experience the concept of LCM and LCG. LCM and LCG. So if you look at this carefully, what is the LCD of lowest common denominator of 2 and 3? It will be what? It will be what? 6. How do you do that? From your primary school, you're taught this. You are taught that. Although I don't teach that method again. If I see 2 and 3, I think of a multiple that can, the smallest multiple that can take care of 2 and 3. If I say 2 times 3, I will get 6. If I say 3 times 2, I will get 6. Is there any multiple that will be smaller than that? Beautiful. So it will be 6. So, all right. So that takes care of that. So these 6 I've gotten, I'll use it to multiply this one and this one. Remember, the concept of balancing equation means that whatever you do to your right-hand side, you must do to your left-hand side. So I'm going to multiply this with 6. This will become 6 over 2. And I'm going to multiply this by 6. This will be less than what? 6 over 3 into x plus 4. So what am I going to have? I'm going to have 3 here. 6 divided by 2 is 3 into 3x minus 2 less than or equal to what? 2 into x plus 4. Is that okay? So the next thing we do is to open up the brackets. 3 times 3x means 3 times 3 times x. Number multiply number, you get 9. 9 multiply x, you get 9x. So this will be 9x minus 6. 3 times 2 will be 6. Beautiful. Expand the bracket. Lovely. Less than or equal to, expand this one, and that'll be what? 2x plus what? 8. We said that if you multiply a number with a letter, you will get a number letter. If you multiply a letter with a number, you still get a number letter. All right. So the next thing we do is to check which one is bigger. Yes, number letter. This is bigger than this. So the way we have it, there's no problem. So what do? You bring this one to this side. So this becomes 9x minus 2x. Anytime they cross equality, they change status. Less than or equal to 8. This is a slave, it must become a king. Beautiful. And this will become what? 7x less than or equal to 14. You check. What's the coefficient of x? It is 7. So 7 is a number that is multiplying x. Beautiful. So x, divide both sides by 7, and somebody has told us x is less than 2. Wow. Thank you very much. I'm having one grade 7 student here that seems to be having fun with himself. I really admire your courage. You really, really admire your courage. Keep it up. Now, we're not done. No. They said we should draw the number line. So very simple. We mark. Okay, let me bring it down a little. Somebody's wondering, why is my bouncing? I'm bouncing. I'm bouncing. Bouncing. I'm bouncing. Okay, we do this. We mark. We put 2. Now, because it's less than or equal to, it means the bubble will be colored. So I color the bubble. Or I close it. Now, x is less than 2. It means it will come in this direction. So that's what the answer will be. All right. Okay, so with that done, wow. I don't know, I think you should be able to handle quite the other ones. Okay, I think we'll take 2 more questions and we'll call it a day. I know some of us are already very tired. And I've shot almost 1 hour now, but so sorry about that. Oh, you're not tired? Are you serious? Okay. All right, that's encouraging. Okay, I'm going to give you a minute or 2 to catch your breath. And I promise you we'll do 2 more questions and I'll call it a day. 2 more questions and I will call it a day. I give you my word on that. 2 more questions, I'll call it a day. All right, so a minute or 2 to catch your breath. Yeah, I want to take water. Oh, goodness. All right. So I can clean everything up. Don't worry, this class is recorded. So after the class, you can actually go to my YouTube channel. This class is recorded, it's live. So you can go back to my YouTube channel and rewatch this experience. So that's the beautiful thing of technology. So you can see that the questions you're going to solve after now will be very, very few. So for my grade 11 students, you may want to mark your work and see how far you've gone, and derive from this knowledge, you can properly conclude whether some of the other questions you solved were actually correct. All right, so like I promised, I'm going to solve just 2 more questions, and then I'll call it a day, and then I'll reschedule another class where we can clear off this remaining aspect. All right, let's look at question 23. It says 1/3x plus 1/4 is less than 3 over 8x. Now, okay, 3x over 8. To start this question, let me draw your attention to something. This x is a numerator. So it is x times 1 over 3. So you can write this to be x plus 1 over 4 less than 3x over 8. The next thing you want to do, okay, the same issue. Let's see if I can do something about that. All right. So the next thing you want to do is to look for the LCM or LCD of 3, 4, and 8. So let's go to our primary school approach. You can also look up my YouTube channel for how to solve this. I know some of us are fast with it, but let's assume that you don't know any other method. 3, 4, 8. I start with 2. You divide with prime numbers. No, check that again. That answer you've shown me is not correct. Check that again. So we start with 2. This will be 3, 2, 4. We try 2 again. This will be 3, 1, 2. We try 2 again. This will be 3, 1, 1. And then we try 3, and that will be 1, 1, 1. So we multiply 2 times 2, 4, times 2, 8, times 3, 24. Let's check that again. You should have 24. Should be 24. Check what I've done here. Should be 24. So you're going to multiply each of these items by 24. So this will be 24 times x over 3 plus 24 times 1 over 4 less than what? 24 times 3x over 8. So how do you do that? 3 go here 1, 3 go here 8. So I'm going to have 8x plus 4 go here 1, 4 go here 6. Less than 8 go here 1, 8 go here 3. So this 3 will multiply 3x. I'm going to have 9x. So the next thing you check, which is bigger? This is bigger than this. So you have to rewrite this. This is bigger than this. 9x is bigger than what? 8x. So if this is less than this, it means that this will be bigger than this. So 9x will be bigger than 8x plus 6. I don't need this one here. So that will be 9x minus 8x greater than 6. So what's my final answer? It will mean that what? X will be greater than 6. So having done that, I'm going to try to draw the diagram up here. I'm going to try to draw the diagram up here. Okay. All right. Fine. That's good. Okay. So I'm going to try to draw the diagram up here. X is greater than 6. I put a bubble. Now, it is greater than, which means the bubble will be open. Greater than 6, so it will go in this direction. That's the final answer. X is greater than 6. So like I promised, we'll solve the last question for tonight, because some of us are really doing a good job. So 25, okay, 24, let's solve 24. It says 5x minus 1 over 3 minus 1 minus 2x over 3 over 5 is less than or equal to 8 plus x. 8 plus x. 8 plus x. Now, before I start solving, I'm going to say this is over 1. Every number is what it is because it's standing on 1. Every number is what it is because it is standing on what? 1. So Look at this very well. The LCM of 3, 5, and 1 will be 15. Beautiful, 15, you're correct. So I'll multiply each of these elements by 15. So this will be 15 times 5x minus 1 over 3 minus 15 times. Now, one way we can say times is to put brackets. So this will be 15 bracket 5x minus 1 over 3 minus 15 bracket 1 minus 2x over 5 equal greater than, less than or equal to, sorry about that, less than or equal to 15 bracket 8 plus x. So what do you do? This one will divide this, I will have 5. So that will be 5 multiplying 5x minus 1. This will be minus 3 multiply 1 minus 2x. And then this will be less than or equal to 15 multiplying 8 plus x. So you want to open the brackets. This will give you 25x minus 5. This negative will multiply 1. Remember we said whenever you see negative, remember it will affect everything. This negative multiplies 1, you're going to have minus 3. This negative multiplies negative will give me positive. 3 times 2 will give me 6 and x. And then this will be what? Less than or equal to 15 times 8 will give me what? 120. 15 times 8 will give me what? 120. Plus 15 times x, beautiful, will give me what? 15x. So with that said, I can collect like terms. Now look at this. I'm going to have 25x plus 6x minus 5 minus 3 less than or equal to 120 plus 15x. All right, so what do I do next? 25x plus 6x will give me 31. So that'll be 31x. And then, beautiful, beautiful. So minus 3, negative 3 plus negative 5 plus negative 3 will give me negative 8. I'm owing means I'm owing. And less than or equal to 120 plus 15x. Now, when I collect like terms, let me clean the left side of my board so that I have some more space to do the work. So with that, look at this. This is a king, it becomes a slave here. So 31x minus 15x will be less than or equal to 120 plus 8. Where is plus 8 coming from? This one cross equality becomes plus. And with that, 31 minus 15 will give me 16x less than or equal to 128. If I divide both sides by 16, I'm going to add that x will be less than or equal to 8. You want to confirm that for me? If you do the confirmation right, you discover that what I've done is correct. So let me just look at that. 4 will go here 4, 4 will go here 32, 4 will go here 1, 4 will go here 8. Right? So how do you draw that on the number line? 8 less than or equal to 8. So it will come in this direction. But the bubble will not be open, the bubble will be closed. The bubble will be what? Closed. Because we have less than or equal to 8. All right. So that's question 1 to 25 of our exercise. So you, for those of us who are from ABEC, you may want to go back to your work and mark to see how well you have fared. We've done exercise 10A of our New General Mathematics. In my next meeting, where I'll be solving practical questions, I'll take you through some examples from a school I happen to come in contact with their practice questions for WAEC. We'll have the inequalities. Then I will also fuse it to the Cambridge experience, IGCSE. I saw a question today in was that statistics, having testing your understanding of inequalities. So I'm going to be solving questions like that, and I'll trust that in my next meeting we will do better. Thank you for your time. Let me quickly see those who made it to my Zoom class. All right, okay, very good, very good. The class is recorded, so after now you can go to my YouTube channel and watch at your pace. Watch at your pace. Thank you very much. I'll release you from now, and Mamu will return. Have a